What's going on? Welcome to today's video. So I got something special in store for you today. I do have a push-up video, like a beginner upper body workout that actually got some good traction. And I did have one person comment, maybe Sam, you can pull it up. He was like, WTF, this isn't for beginners. Well, listen, it is a beginner workout, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down on how to do push-ups today for beginners, because if you can't do like my beginner upper body workout, that's okay. Yes, it's a little hard. Yes, we were on our knees. No, they're not like girl push-ups, they're just knee push-ups. But I wanna break down the exact steps and the techniques that I do when performing push-ups, because it's an essential move. But not always do you have to just use your hands. You can use a Bosu, you can use dumbbells. So I'm gonna show you those two pieces of equipment today. We're also gonna use our hands in doing the push-ups, but I'm gonna give you a couple of key pointers and things that you should think about before going into one of those workouts. So for example, what we could do, and what I do recommend, is maybe just practicing 5 push-ups every day. And then going a step further, 5 in the morning and then 5 at night. And then going a step further, 10 in the morning, 10 at night, and so on and so forth. But at least if you could do 5 push-ups every single day, or at least every other day, you're trained at mind muscle connection, most importantly, you're gonna get a little better at push-ups. So let's walk inside today. Let's go ahead and let's crank out some push-ups, okay? Grab a water. All right, so today we are gonna start doing some push-ups. But before, go ahead and get hydrated. Grab a water bottle, drink a little bit of water, because water is a mechanism that helps flush fat out the body. It's involved in all of your metabolic processes, from sleeping, blinking. I say it all the time, so please get some water and stay hydrated. But we're gonna do these push-ups today. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you, we do have some dumbbells, and then we have a Bosu. Now with the Bosu, we're actually gonna flip it upside down when we use that. And then with the dumbbells, we can keep our hands in a little bit more of a neutral position. So, but what we're gonna do first is we're just gonna start off with some basic push-ups first. I'm gonna show you a few different hand placements and what we can do. Then we're gonna utilize the dumbbells, because the dumbbells is probably something that you may have access to, and I like it because it keeps those wrists in a more neutral position. And then the Bosu is my all-time favorite, and I'll link all these, the dumbbells, the Bosu, down in the description, because the Bosu, it forces your shoulder stabilizers and your core to fire up so much more, because if you didn't have any stabilizers, your arms would be shaking. So I'm gonna get a little bit of water real quick. Practice what I preach, preach what I practice. So to get stronger at push-ups when you're first starting off, I like to have my hand just below my shoulder, okay? My hand's below my shoulder, and I'm gonna start off in a plank position, all right? Let me just show you this. So when I'm starting off, I'm in this plank position. I have my hands pointed just out just a little bit. I don't wanna have my body too far back, and I don't wanna have it too far forward, because if it's too far back and I start to come down, I feel all my traps in my neck. And then if I'm too far forward, you're gonna probably do that around and shrug, and it's, again, it's gonna put a lot more pressure in traps and neck. So start off plank position, shoulders over the wrist, point the hands out a little bit, okay? And then on the way down, I'm gonna bring my elbows out just a little bit. So I want you to inhale on the way down and focus on getting the negative. Step 1, come down slow under control, even if you can't go all the way down, right here. Work the negative and just come all the way down slow as you can. Good, now that you're down at the bottom, now let's go ahead and use your knees. Drop your knees down, don't push your hips and your butt back, and don't prone cobra. I'll talk about that in a second. Stay here and then try and bring those elbows in a little bit, and then you're gonna press, push your hands into the ground, push your palms into the ground, press, and then squeeze and contract the chest right there. So when I get here, I'm not trying to over-rotate. If I over-rotate, then it's all shoulders and it's traps. In my chest, you can see I can grab, it's not as contracted, but when I retract the shoulder blades, now my chest is popped out, it's contracted, right? So what you wanna think about when you're doing these push-ups is you wanna imagine like you're trying to push the ground together. I'm literally trying to push and adduct these elbows, and I'm trying to squeeze this floor together. That's gonna help me get a tighter contraction in my chest, okay? So I'm here again, plank position, shoulders over the wrist, inhale on the way down, breathe in, the elbows come out a little bit, because if the elbows are in, my shoulders tend to round. So I'm gonna bring them out, give my body a little bit of room, inhale on the way down, breathe in, and then I'm gonna exhale, and I'm gonna press, and I'm gonna squeeze, and as I squeeze, I'm gonna come to the top. 3/4, and I'm gonna contract the chest there, all right? And then what we can do here, we can also just do knee push-ups. So if that is too hard, let's just go ahead and use our knees. Same thing, negative. Bring it down, nice and slow and controlled, drop, okay? And then when I press, I'm gonna push, don't let the back arch, don't push the hips and the butt back, just press under control, bring those palms in, squeeze, And again, 3/4. All I'm doing is I'm pressing up 3/4 of the way. Because if I press up all the way, my shoulder blades retract, all right? So you wanna be sure that when you're pressing up, you have constant time under tension on your chest and on your pecs, all right? Now, if both of those are super hard, what you can do, if you can't push yourself back up yet, go ahead and try and do a prone cobra, which is basically like arching the back. So for example, if I start off on the ground, this is a prone cobra, like a stretch in yoga, you would just push up and then you would arch the back a little bit. But what we could do is we could push up, you'll arch the back to your knees and then reset, get onto your knees, chill here for a second, reset the plank. If you're coming down and it's like, ugh, you have nothing, then go ahead, arch the back, push the hips and the butt back, reset, that's okay. Because if you can't physically push yourself up, we gotta start somewhere. Now you might even use a door frame or I could get into that in another video, but I'm gonna show you how to do push-ups basically from the ground, okay? So what we can also do here is now once we're here and we get back up, try and just use your knees. Again, shoulder blades retracted back, don't over rotate, shoulder blades retracted back, stay onto the knees, slowly lower the body down. And if you start coming down quick, just slow as you can and back down, and then you can go ahead and try and arch and then bring it back up. But if you can, try and stay under control, coming down, nice control, pause, and then press and squeeze, push. If you're starting to fatigue, yeah, you're gonna wanna do that. You're gonna wanna push your hips and your butt back. So again, when you're doing these, if you're just starting off and you're doing them with the floor, go ahead and just try a few reps. Like even if you're only doing 2 or 3 reps a day, or maybe even 5 reps a day, that's fine. You want a good place to start off with and just wanna start building some foundation. So I recommend try doing 5 reps every other day. 5 repetitions every other day, going down slow. Build that mind-muscle connection. Remember, as you're pushing yourself back up, think about squeezing the ground together. You want to imagine your bicep is laterally contracting against your chest. That's why I say I'm sticking the shoulder blades out. When I'm doing this move, my shoulder blades are back. I'm bringing it in. As you can see, the chest is squeezing. You don't want to, if you over-rotate and you're there, the chest is soft and you're feeling more shoulders, so try and squeeze your chest, okay? Next, what I'm going to show you is we're going to use the dumbbells, all right? So same similar thing. We're using dumbbells here. Now, I would say you can use dumbbells if you feel like your wrists are a little bit more tender and achy, putting that pressure down there. I usually always recommend a Bosu. We're going to get that in just a second, but if your wrists are kind of tender, you're pushing down into the ground, you can actually use the dumbbells, and sometimes you can feel a little bit of a better contraction, and also you could change the angle too. So sometimes putting your hands down in that position, it may feel a little funky, but we can start off with, for example, a semi-pronated grip, basically pronated, hands over hands. So I'm having these dumbbells just tucked in, about 45 degrees or so. We'll start off, plank position, and again, with my feet, I wanna have it to where my shoulders are just over the wrist a little bit, okay? And then I'm gonna slowly lower the body down, bring those elbows out, and again, when I start, don't over-rotate here, drop those shoulder blades, retract the shoulder blades. So inhale on the way down, breathe in, slowly lower the body down, all the way, chest touching, and then press. As I press, I bring those elbows in a little bit, push, squeeze, contract the chest, hold it there. All right, don't let the back dip and arch. Don't push the hips and the butt back. Keep that stomach pulled in, abs are tight. Inhale on the way down, breathe in, nice negative, nice control, pause, let the hips lower. Remember, don't let the hips stay up when you come down. Keep the hips level. Let those hips drop down with the chest. Pause, and then press, squeeze. Again, 3/4, so I have tension on my chest. If you get tired, use your knees. Use the knees, drop it down, nice and slow, nice control. Pause, press, and then bring those elbows in, press, and then squeeze and reset. Again, if you can't do the push-up negative from the plank position, use your knees, focus on the negative here, drop down, nice negative, nice control, and if you have to, drop the hips, you can arch, roll, push the hips and the butt back. That is okay, because sometimes there's really no other way to do those push-ups other than that way, okay? So that's using a dumbbell. And then lastly, what we'll do is we're gonna get in and we're gonna use the Bosu. Same concept applies here. Like I said, I love using this Bosu. I'll link down in the description. Because of the fact when I get into this plank position, my shoulder stabilizers are gonna have to fire. My core is gonna get worked so much more. So a lot of times, and nowadays when I'm doing any kind of training or I'm teaching new clients how to do push-ups, sometimes I'll start off with an inchworm push-up. So we'll walk out, we'll do a push-up down onto the ground. But also, if they have the ability to, I will utilize a Bosu because you're gonna get so much more core work. And like I said, nowadays, I wanna use my core in just about everything I do. So if I'm doing a single arm or a single leg movement, for example, I'm using my abs. So all I'm gonna do here, plank position. This is even great, especially if you need to strengthen your shoulders a little bit. You can do shoulder stabilization. You can just do a plank on the here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in this plank position and we're gonna hold. Step one, I'm gonna retract those shoulder blades. So I'm basically over-rotated and then scapular traction. This is also something you could practice. Practice scapular tractions. You can do it with the hands flat on the ground, also on a Bosu. Keeps my wrist in a more neutral position so I can just stay here a little bit easier. It's not putting as much pressure on my wrist. Over-rotate. Retract the shoulder blades, drop down, over rotate, drop down. These are called scapular push-ups. So with my arms straight, I'm just over rotating, retracting the shoulder blades, squeezing, and then again, that's just gonna help loosen up those shoulders. It's gonna help open up that back, and that's what you want most importantly is you wanna get that scapula to open up, because when you're doing the push-ups, retract the shoulder blades, get that scapula to pinch back together, okay? And then once that scapula is retracted back, then you get in that push-up position. And then hold it here. Now my chest is popped out. When I come down, I'm gonna inhale on the way down. I'm gonna breathe in. Nice control, right there. Let the chest kind of touch, and then press. Bring those elbows in, press and squeeze. I like using this Bosu because as I push, I can literally think about squeezing the crap out of this Bosu, and I can feel the outside of my chest getting a huge contraction. So I'm gonna inhale on the way down. Nice big breath of air. Pause, press, and then push back up, squeeze. If I'm getting tired, drop down, negative. Slow, pause, drop the knees, and then push. Beauty of the Bosu is too, it keeps you a little bit more elevated. So when I'm here, and let's say I drop my chest down, I can just go to here, but again, I'm not all the way down on the ground. I can kind of rest for a second. And again, with my wrist here, rather than being onto the ground, for example, like if I was on the ground and I come all the way down, my shoulders are more in a pronated, over-rotated position and it tends to push up like that. But when I bottom out on this Bosu, I can come to here. I can actually rest here for a second and then bring my hands back and then push the elbows in and press and squeeze. So having a hard time, get in a plank position, nice negative, nice control. Drop the knees if you have to. Bring the elbows in a little, press, and then squeeze the chest, all right? So these are all three really great ways, doing Bosu push-ups, doing dumbbell push-ups, or just doing push-ups flat on the ground. I hope this video really helped. If you'd like, give it a like, give it a comment. Let me know what you thought about it, how it could be better. Like I said, I could put another video out sometime in the future on how to do push-ups for the absolute beginner. And I'd recommend probably starting in your doorway, leaning against your doorway, dropping the body through, pressing up. But if you're in a gym environment, and more than likely you should or might be able to practice these, start trying to practice these push-ups. This is the #1 best way to get your upper body strength going. And then once you've got this foundation down and you can easily crank out maybe 10 or 15 of these knee push-ups, for example, try my beginner upper body video because it's very push-up focused. It has a lot of knee push-ups in that exercise routine, but it will challenge you a lot because it's so much time under tension and there's a lot more volume, where those exercises are going to feel a little bit harder doing all those push-ups and ab exercises. It's an upper body and abs video, so there's like 3 push-up exercise variations and there's 2 abdominal exercises. So give that a shot. But again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe if you're new here. Click the notification bell so you never miss any of my latest content. And like always, I can't wait to see you watching some of my next workouts.
I keep on working, got purpose and worth. Music's my cure and this world is my purse. Get rid of this curse with every verse. Of course I've been hurt, but some have been much worse. Leave me alone, get out of my head. Block out the opinions until I am dead. They all go to speak, but you listen instead. Listen some more and you'll cease to regret. I keep on working, I got it on track. You gonna see my name up on the flag. I sail the ship and I'll never come back. I keep this bitch on the line to attack. Never look back, I make a record like Crash. Top of my bracket I smash, I'm like a pack. I'm about to stack it like cash. It's gonna happen so fast. Never change myself.